Hi everyone, and welcome to another stock market update. So let's go through a market which looks like it might be bottoming out, and that's important. So let's look at what's been happening. Well, if we were looking at valuations, I'm afraid, again, only the banks really look undervalued. Everything else, and these are PE ratios, the multiples are still pretty high. Meta's a bit cheap. And even the energy sector is starting to get a bit pricey. So you're really looking at financials, and you might say, well, there's a reason financials are the only cheap ones, is because we're anticipating a recession, but even allowing for that relative to the other sectors. Okay, so what else have we got? If we look at the performance over the past week, these are rough figures because when you're watching this, this will already have moved. It's been another good week, which is one of the reasons why, if looking at momentum, it looks like we might be bottoming out. I mean, 6% in Amazon, and you've got everything from energy to technology, a broad market rise up. Okay, what about PEG ratios, price earnings growth, another measure of valuation? Well, here it's a slightly different story. Energy is the only one now which looks undervalued, and the other factors suggest that even financials are expensive. Now, the reason I look at more than one factor, such as momentum and different factors of valuation, is for precisely that reason, so I can see a 360-degree approach and not just a small one. So where are we then on some of the big stocks like Apple? Well, what you can see is I think we are starting to get that move up in this. We are starting to get a rise up, and you can see some of the most recent moves there. And it's about time, I think, I start looking at buying back into Apple and maybe 2 times leverage ETF or even 2 times leveraged on CFDs. Microsoft flattening, you can see it there. See the bottoming out cycle here, and the anticipation is about a 35% return in a year. That's what I anticipate to get in Microsoft. Even if that takes 2 years, that's fine. If I do 2 times leverage, that should be 70% in 2 years. What about Amazon? Similar kind of story. I don't think it'll be 65% in a year. I'd like to give that about at least 2 years. But again, a flattening out on the monthly MACD. The weekly is starting to rise. The stochastics is starting to rise. Classic movement. Ideally, you'd want to wait another month, and I might wait till September before getting in, by the way. I might wait till September getting in, but on my Telegram channel, I'll give you more information. Similar story with Meta as well. Similar story with Costco, starting to move upwards. Actually, it's already halfway up to getting that 35% return, which I anticipate in 6 months. It's already starting. You can see the flattening there, and that's what we're expecting with some of the others. I don't know what amount over what time frame for the others, but I know it'll be positive. And even if it takes 2 years, I look at myself and say, well, if I do 2 times leverage, then that pays off well. PayPal, again, I might give it a week or two. Look at my next weekly update. Look at the links in the bio to find that. But again, very much flattening. And whilst I don't think it'll be a V-shaped recovery, it should be on the upside. I won't go through some of the others like Westlake. You can see the pictures there. You can see some of the moves back. I'm not looking to get into Qualcomm, but you can see characteristically of the others as well, flat monthly MACD and starting to rise. And yeah, it looks like we're getting a bit of a bottom in the market. Johnson & Johnson, which has had a good rise, however, is on the other side. I think that's a more upward trend, but still upwards for that. Halliburton, Marathon Oil, feel free to pause this video at any point. Occidental, which Warren Buffett got into, the fear was it would drop down to this trend, but the likelihood it's going to continue up at this level, which is a 37% return in a year. And I think we're on target for that. There is still some downside risk. It won't be a straight line, but it's a good one. Mosaic, again, flattening out after doing sharp rises up, sharp rises down, sharp falls down, and then rising up. Devon on that upward trend as well. Marathon Petroleum. This is to give you more of a flavor of the broader market that I want to show some of that stuff. Don't forget, look at my campaign for a million. We're not finished, we're only halfway through. Campaignforamillion.com to teach 1 million people how to be better investors. Lots of free tools, materials, online education, and courses. These are some of the trades we've been keeping an eye on, which have been smoother for us. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. You can see these trends are smoother. Therefore, we're looking for the next signal in that one. The next one in US dollar, Japanese yen, 30-minute bars. We're looking for the next signal in Meta. Nice little upward trend, although we lost on that one, but we made on this one. You'll notice we don't find bottoms. Wish we could. We get in after the trend's already begun. Dano as well. Euro, New Zealand dollar, short, looking for the next downward move on that. So there you have it. Hope you found that all very useful. Thank you very much for listening.